Neither Northamptonshire nor Leicestershire could grab the initiative on the second day of their LV County Championship match at Wantage Road, where honours remain even at the halfway stage. Northamptonshire resumed on 32 without loss in reply to Leicestershire's first innings total of 313, but they got off to a bad start, losing Stephen Peters to the second ball of the day, nicking Matthew Hoggard to Matthew Boyce. Leicestershire could not have hoped for a better first hour or so. Ben Haugago added only 4 to his overnight score before he got a regulation edge off Wayne White at 37 for 2. And it was on that total when the third wicket fell in the next over, Rob White giving Paul Dixie a second catch, this time off the bowling of Nadeem Malik. David Sales tried to stop the rot with a couple of boundaries, but with a total at 54, he was the fourth man to go to another catch behind the wicket, this time by Will Jefferson off Andrew McDonald. Northamptonshire, who've not lost a match this summer, were in trouble, but they knew that their lower middle order has scored a heap of runs so far this season. Andrew Hall has scored a couple of tons himself, but not this time. He made only 5 when he nicked McDonald to Dixie to leave his team on 70 for 5 and facing a substantial first innings deficit. However, if Leicestershire were thinking that, then they reckoned without Alex Wakely, who started the Northamptonshire recovery in partnership with James Middlebrook. 22-year-old Wakely has not really made a huge impact with the bat in the LV County Championship this summer, but with his side now really needing him, he picked his moment. The same really can't be said of Middlebrook, who batting mostly at number 9 has already scored 200s this season and has batted brilliantly throughout. Such form finally saw him move up the batting order to number 7, and once again he didn't disappoint. He'd added another 42 runs to his tally and helped the total to 151 with a stand of 81 when he threw the bat at a wide ball from White and edged behind 25 minutes into the afternoon session. Wakely's wicket was now the key one for Leicestershire, but he reached his second 50 of the season by guiding the ball to the boundary to bring him his 7th 4 from the 92 deliveries he'd faced. Wakely was so impressive as a boy that he made his debut for this county's second 11 as a 15-year-old and scored 2 half-centuries. He's represented England at under-19 level 2, but has perhaps not moved on like some others of his age group. Not being able to grit it out has been a criticism levelled at him in the past, but that was not the case on this occasion, where in fact the opposite was true. It was good for him to have someone with the experience of Chaminda Vaas at the other end. Here is a player who's seen just about everything in the game. With these two pushing on, the home side were now closing in on Leicestershire's first innings total, as once again the lower middle order played a major role for Northamptonshire. This pair added 96 for the 7th wicket, and Wakely looked set for just his 3rd first-class 100, when, only 2 runs short, he had the misfortune of being bowled by a grubber from McDonald. David Murphy, in his first match of the season, came out to bat with his side on 247 for 7 and trailing by 66, so every run was important as he and Vaas tried to get as close to Leicestershire's score as possible. Murphy had been given his chance because of an island match for Niall O'Brien, and he settled in well. The deficit stood at only 39 when Murphy flung his bat into a drive of Hoggard and edged the second new ball to Jefferson to go for 22. Then in the next over, the second with that new ball, Vaas top-edged to pull off White and gave Hoggard a catch. The Sri Lankan was out for 46. So the last pair came together with their side on 290 for 9, 23 behind. David Lucas ensured that a 3rd batting bonus point was made before he was last out for 24, bowled by Malik. Northamptonshire were all out for 312 to trail by only 1 run, meaning that we now effectively had a 1-innings match on our hands. There were 18 overs remaining for the home side to make inroads into the Leicestershire batting lineup and thus put them in charge of the game, but Jefferson and Boyce batted sensibly to keep their wickets intact. They must have known the value of that, aware too that if they could stay in, then we would have a thrilling final couple of days. Leicestershire had slipped to 15 for 3 in their first innings, but this time they were able to move unscathed to 52 without loss by the close. So the match is finally poised at the halfway stage with Leicestershire's lead at 53 with all of their second innings wickets intact. Jefferson will resume on day 3 on 15 with Boyce on 36, and one big session for either side could now win this game.